You want to open it up, or you want me to go right into the agenda, Pastor John?
Let's go right into the agenda, please.
Great. All right. Item number 1, review new application of La Finca Bar and Grill. It's located at 960 East 165th Street. They're applying for a full license. They'll have recorded music as well as a jukebox. This establishment will have a menu that meets the legal minimum food availability. It used to be as the known Exito, and they're looking to transfer the existing license. This item has been on the agenda for maybe the past 3 or 4 months. There's been issues with that were resolved, and it passed at your last committee. In March's committee, it passed. However, there was no one from the establishment at the full board, and at the board decided to bring it back to the committee. So that's why it's item number 1. And we do have the owner, Alvin Infante, is on the phone with us.
Thank you.
So if I just may have a point of reference, Mr. Chair, I'll start it off. Mr. Infante, was there any reason why no one attended the last full board meeting for the vote on your end?
Hey, how's everybody doing? I think, I didn't see the email until like a day after, and Helen, when I saw the email, and then I reached out to Ellen and see if she joined. She said she had reached out to I forgot her name, what's her name? And say that she was not going to be able to attend because she didn't have, they didn't send the email with enough time, and she had all the meetings set up. But personally, I didn't see the email until like a day or two after, so that was a mistake on my part.
Can I just ask that people mute themselves if they're not speaking, please? Because there's some background noise there. Thank you.
Mr. Fante.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. This is Mr. Crespo. I know that I don't know if we had gotten the right email address for you or for your representative, but I do know that the staff reached out or attempted to reach out, even calling several times prior to the board meeting. You were also informed at the last committee meeting that you had to make yourself available for the full board meeting. So like this, if there was questions that the board members needed to have answered, you would be available to, you or your associate would be available to respond to them. I'm just letting you know now that on Wednesday the
28th.
Wednesday the 28th at 6 o'clock, you need to make yourself available to the full board. Because if not, understand that then the board will vote this application down and send a letter of rejection to the State Liquor Authority.
Yep. No, I made a note of that on my calendar, and I'll make sure to be there.
Pastor John?
Yes, Chairman.
You said 28th, sorry, April the 28th?
Yes,
That's
April
correct.
28th
The last
at
Wednesday,
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll be there.
Okay. I want to let him know that he really complicated things by not showing up at the last meeting, at the last general board meeting. And he will have to show enough reasons, apart from the fact that he didn't see the email, because the absence from that meeting was a demonstration to the board that they really don't care. So it's not as if you were not aware. We told you at that meeting and not showing up was not a good effort on your side, and it did not also reflect very well on this committee. Neither did it reflect well on the
I
staff.
think that's definitely not the case that I don't care. I do care, and I do care about this community. So, I think, it was a mistake on my part because I didn't get the communication, and a lot going on running two businesses. So, like I said, I made a note of that for this month, and I'll make sure to be there on the 28th. But it's definitely, it's not that I don't care. Trust me, I do care. And like I said, I made a note of that already for the 28th, and I'll make sure to be there personally.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think we
You
can
want me to
proceed.
move on? Item number
Yes, we
2.
can move on. Yes.
So before we move on, Mr. Infante, you understand that April 28th at 6 o'clock, you must be on to answer any
100%.
questions.
Yes.
Okay? Just as long as you understand it.
We're good. We're on.
Okay. So item number 2, review new application of Don Chili located at 801 Southern Boulevard. They're applying for a full liquor license, beer, wine, and cider. They will have recorded music. There's no outdoor permit for this location. Also, they were on the last month, and they showed up late to the committee meeting. I think it was at executive. I'm sorry. They showed up late to the executive meeting. They were an item on the agenda, and the committee chose not to entertain it. So we tabled it for now.
Who's on for Don Chili?
I see someone present, Don Chili. They just unmuted themselves. Yes. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. My name is Almida Menaldo. That's me. And the last time
You're coming in too low. Your volume.
okay.
We also sent out the questionnaire, and they completed it. It's up on the screen for the record.
Okay. The last time I tried to connect too many times, and that's impossible. And when I connect, the lady told me that's too late. But I tried.
Yeah, you came on at about 8 o'clock or 10 to 8, something like that.
7:30.
And you let me ask you a question. You asking for a full license, am I correct?
Yes.
What are your hours of operation? I can't see that too well here, bro.
So the hours are from Sunday to Thursday from 9 to 11 or to 12. And Friday and Saturday, I think we have like 9 to 2 a.m. We try to 2 a.m., but possibly we close early. That's family.
Yes. On the record, what they submitted was 9 to 11, Monday through Thursday, Friday and Saturday, 9 to 12 a.m. I'm sorry. And then Friday and Saturday to 2 a.m. And then 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. And then Sunday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Yes, like that.
So, Mr. Chairman, is this a new license?
Yes, it is.
And they are applying for full license?
Yes, it is.
Excuse me,
please, the location
Ralph?
again?
Wow.
Yes,
Hello?
Barbara.
Is this the place right here on Longwood and Southern
Across the
Boulevard?
street from the precinct. Across the street from the precinct.
Oh, I'm gonna excuse myself from that. I saw something I didn't like.
Well, you don't recuse yourself. If you don't, if there's something you saw that you didn't like, you should let us know what's happening, Barbara.
I
Hello?
want to apologize to Pastor John because the last time I was totally against, giving them, I wanted to give them an opportunity. I walked in there and for my own eyes, I saw that beer was being served in cups.
You mean, oh, okay, without a license?
Not a license.
But there's no current license there. I just want to acknowledge that we was joined by it looks like it's Officer Sokola, but it looks like it's the commanding officer there. So just want to acknowledge that.
Okay, so thank you very much, Barbara. That's a very important information for us. In the first place, this is a new license, and they're applying for full license, and we already have report of them serving alcohol without a license. I'm not sure if the owner is aware of what is going on in the premises.
That back table where they sit the people in the back.
Yeah.
That's where it be served at.
Who's the one that's speaking up for Don Chile? What's the name?
Don Chile. The name is Don Chile. So
Yeah, but what's the person's name?
Yeah, what is that? My name is Armida.
Amilda Medaldo.
Medaldo. Ms. Medaldo,
Yes,
do you understand what is being said right now?
yes, yes. I understand what she's saying. But when was that happen? I don't know exactly what she said.
Everything broken up with an echo.
Can you hear me now?
Larry, can you mute yourself, please, Larry?
I'm mute.
If you're not muting yourself, I'm gonna have to mute people.
My screen says mute.
Larry, you're not mute, Larry. You're not. Don Chile, go ahead. You can continue.
Okay, I understand what she say, but when would that happen?
Well, she's one of the committee members, and she went by there. And you're fortunate enough that it was her, because if it would have been me and I would have seen that, I would have called the precinct automatically and asked them to take all the beers away.
Yes, I understand. I understand that. Yes, but I don't know. I understand. I don't understand when that happened, because if they check my restaurant, I don't have beers there. So I don't know when that happened. If they close, maybe they close and they only the employees is inside. I understand. I don't. In that moment, that's okay because they close the restaurant, But
But if they're cleaning
I
and closing,
understand.
if they're cleaning and closing, why would they let a customer come in?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I don't understand when that happened. I
It
don't
wasn't
understand.
cleaning.
It's
It
perfect.
wasn't
Let me say
cleaning and
something.
closing. It was
Excuse
not
me?
like that. It was not cleaning and closing. It was open.
It was fully open.
It was
Barbara,
in.
can I ask you a question? Did you see them pouring a beer from the bottle into the cup?
Barbara? Barbara? Hello?
I'm not accusing them. That's why I want to excuse myself from this, because I saw what I saw. I saw
You don't
cup.
excuse.
I know what beer looked like. Okay.
Oh, no. I'm not. We're not. I don't think she asked you that. I think what Monique is asking is, did you see them with the bottle pouring it into the cup?
No, I didn't see that. I just saw them drinking beers from the cups.
Okay.
I know what frauds from beers look like.
With their own beer, that's what I'm saying. Because like because right now they're asking for something, and you saw something, and what you saw is valid. We're not taking away from that, but there's this thing. If you saw someone from the restaurant with a bottle of beer pouring it into a cup, that makes them directly liable. But what if somebody, now they might be wrong for letting somebody come in there with a cup of beer. You understand what I'm saying? But how we know it wasn't that person's cup or their beer that they poured into a cup just so that they could be in there?
First of all, if they don't have no beer or liquor license, they should not entertain none of that in their place. I am not one to be quick to accuse them because I'm one who was defending them the last meeting we had, trying to give them an opportunity. So right now I had to apologize to the people who was trying to give them, was saying what they had to say. So I'm the last one to think I would be accusing them or saying anything of the sort. I know what I saw.
And I trust you. I trust what you're saying, Barbara, because you've been with this committee since day one that it started. So I know that you know, I know you know your stuff on this particular committee.
Yeah.
I like to know, this is a coffee shop. Why do you need a full license?
No, that's not a coffee shop. That's a restaurant.
But in the morning you sell breakfast, right?
Yeah, in the morning we like yes, in the morning we have breakfast. Then in later we have lunch, dinner, but not a coffee shop
And
because
to what time are you open now?
we open at 9 or 10,
You close at what time?
and at 11, Monday, Sunday to Thursday.
And on Friday and Saturday?
Saturday 12.
You know that if you have a full license, you have to have a security guard there. You know that, right?
Yes, yes, I understand that.
Have you provided that to the board?
No, yeah.
How long have you had this establishment?
But we're working on that.
Excuse me?
But we're working on that.
Don Chili, you don't have a certificate of occupancy for the establishment?
Ms. Minaldo,
Yes,
do you have a certificate of occupancy from the Department of Buildings for that location?
yes, I think we have, yes, it's 25, 25 to, yes, 25 people, yes. 25 to 30, I think. Yes, because I don't have them here right now.
Mr.
And
Chairman, how long have they been in business on that location?
well, I've known it there for about a year now. Before it was somebody else that had a beer license. That's why I don't understand the previous owners that had that establishment only had a beer and wine license. And they were closing at 7 o'clock at night. I don't understand why they need to close at 11 and 12 o'clock now.
Oh, we have one issue before all of this. Barbara, you are recusing yourself, you're stating, or you abstaining?
I just feel like, I just felt so bad because I was one that was defending the situation of
I
trying to.
understand, but are you going to vote? Are you going to vote? That's what we need to know now.
Well, she can't recuse herself because she saw something that is.
That's why I'm asking that. She's
Oh.
going to have to vote, and there's only 2 members of the committee.
She will vote. She will vote when the time comes.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Reverend.
This is a new business, and we don't have any previous record of them.
Well, I don't know. Sergeant Guglielmo's on the air, so I don't know. Sergeant Guglielmo, have you heard anything?
Yeah, no, we don't have any intel. I mean, I wish Barbara had called me. I would have definitely gone over there to check it out. But to be honest with you, I ran the location address, and we haven't had any incidents or problems over there.
I have not seen no incidents over there either, just except for what I saw that day. Usually,
yeah, I wasn't aware of. I wasn't aware of the alcohol. I mean, if it was something that was happening, I would have definitely gone over there and checked it out.
Mr. Chairman, do they have cameras?
Excuse me?
Do they have cameras at the business?
Well, we haven't even gone to that. The fact of that Barbara has seen something that I will not debate with her because, like I said, she was one of the first members to this committee when it was established, and she has an array of knowledge of what we seek, what we look for, and I'm sure that what she may have seen or that she believes she had seen is what she saw. So I was still at that level debating that. But it's your call, Reverend John, and it's up to you to decide if you want to continue discussing this issue of the beer being sold without a license, or do you want to continue discussing other issues of the place?
Do they have cameras at the premises? Does she have cameras?
Ms.
Yes, we
Medallo,
have. Yes, we have.
Are you willing to let the sergeant take a look at your cameras for the past 15 to 30 days?
Yes.
You know what that means? If there is evidence that beer, alcohol is being sold at your business, you are liable. You understand that?
Yes, I understand.
So you're willing to let the sergeant come and take a look at your cameras, the recordings?
Yes.
and understand that we will listen to what the 4-1 precinct tells us. And if they tell us, yes, they were selling, that will automatically put you in a situation where we may have to reject your application.
Okay, yes, I understand.
So, Mr. Chairman, I would recommend that we allow the sergeants to review the camera, and then we can table this for next discussion next month, this application for next month.
Sergeant Goop, is that okay with you?
Yeah, I'm here. I mean, yeah, we can definitely do that. And just to let her know, also, it's not just if we do become aware, like now I've officially become aware of a problem there. I mean, serving alcohol with no license, I would have to also do what's called an SLA report, which is the State Liquor Authority report. So in this instance, we don't do the report until we do our investigation and discover that they do or they are serving without a liquor license. So just so the owner is aware, or I don't know if she's the manager or the owner, but that's the process that we go by.
Well, if you and Barbara want to put it off for next month's discussion, we can put it off for next month's discussion and let Sergeant Guglielmo review the cameras and see what we what comes up on it.
I could do that.
Okay. So, Barbara, are you on board for that? I think Barbara is mute.
She's on mute.
Yeah,
Barbara, you're on mute.
I'm sorry. I think we should let the cameras decide.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so Mr. Chairman, let's move to the next item on the agenda, please.
It's your meeting.
Okay, I'm sorry. So let's just, before we move on. So Sergeant Guglielmo is going to visit the site, find out what's going on through the cameras, and then we'll invite her back next month, which would most likely be May, like the second Tuesday of May. So she doesn't have to stay on any longer for the meeting. And then she can get the certificate of occupancy and start working on the security license. So
Right.
that way, when
May
we do bring her
11th.
back, she has that, okay?
Yeah, May 11th, it looks like.
Yes, India.
All right.
All right, so we're moving on, Mr.
Yes,
Chair?
sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
review a new application for La Makata Pizzeria Corp. located at 857 East 149th Street. They're applying for a full license. They have recorded music, DJ, and a jukebox. Establishment will have a full food menu. There is no outdoor permit for this location. And it's a transfer application from La Espega 3 Estrella, and we have the serial number for them. We did not receive their questionnaire.
Excuse me, we're not doing any transferring. We are a new corporation. I rent the location as a new owner. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. We're listening.
Yes, we're not doing any transferring from any other corporation. We're a new filing corporation.
So they have to fix up their application because it says it.
A transfer?
Yeah. I'm going to
What
show,
is
give me 1 second, I'll bring it right to the screen.
Okay.
You said, this is La Macara Pizzeria, right?
La Máquina,
Yeah.
yeah, La Maraca Pizzeria, yes.
So,
There's no existing liquor license in the premises. If you know,
no, you're right. They actually don't have anything. That was my mistake. They actually don't have anything on there. So I'll take that out and it's not a transfer. Apologies.
So what's this serial number that's here?
That must have just been from another one. But
Okay.
it's a new, yeah, it's new, and I just checked the application, which is why I keep it next to me when we're about to meet. But they don't have anything. It's not a transfer, and there's no other serial number.
Why are you looking for a full license, sir?
Oh, pretty much the menu that I have, you know, it goes with cocktails, drinks. You know, I'm not planning to go all the way to 4 in the morning. You know, that I'm trying to bring something different to the neighborhood. You know, I have, you know, pasta, I got main course, and like pretty much the people want to have a drink with it.
What do you mean by main course?
Like pretty much like steaks, you know, main meals.
Just so like that, the committee members know, and Ralph knows this as well as Cynthia, and maybe some of the other board members that are on know what's going on. This is a troubled spot that not this particular location, but the area itself has approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, if I'm not mistaken, 5 restaurants with full licenses in that area between Avenue St. John's and 149th Street. And the police department have had they brought to me concerns about so many locations having liquor licenses in the area.
Mr. Chair, can I just get a point of clarity here? Because
Yeah, go ahead.
on the agenda, it says transfer application. So that
Yes.
serial number does belong to La Espiga, and it's
Right.
at this location, right? And it's
Yeah.
active until September. So
So there is a liquor license there.
yeah, that license has to be closed out before we open up a new one. That's a new one. If not, it's going to be a transfer. So I just want a point of clarity. So
All right, I mean,
unless
from my understanding,
oh, you know what? I'm sorry. No. That's an error. It's an error on our part. I
this
apologize. That's
location,
not the case. There's nothing at
used to
this
be
location.
this location used to be a pool hall. I wreck everything that it used to be like a pool hall. If you guys, I'm right in front of the business. I'll walk you through to you see that I'm trying to bring like a fine dining to the area. It's not like I'm trying to provide something that will create, you
But
know,
you still
more
have the
debt than what
billiard place next door to you, right?
I'm sorry?
You still have the pool place next to you.
No. I'm the pool place. I think you guys are confused.
No, because I saw the sign. I had one of my board members go by, take pictures, and there's a sign right next door to yours that says billiard.
No, I have to get a company with a license to remove the sign that said billiard on top. I could walk you through this business till you see there's no longer a pool hall. I'm right inside the business as we speak. I don't know if you can see with your camera. me 1 second because I got the guys
No,
working.
it's not gonna work like that. It ain't gonna work like that because some of us got bad eyesight, so we can't see what you're trying to
Mr.
show.
Chairman, Mr. Chairman, are you there? Sergeant Guglielmo?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
Sarge.
just so I can clarify this because I've done all the work on this spot. So this used to be the billiard spot. This was a huge problem for us in the past. We had a shooting there that emanated from the nightclub. I've had multiple fights. I have personally had to shut them down for illegal parties. They were opened multiple times during the COVID. I can get the board all the information. So what he did was he's now transferring it over. They redid it as a pizzeria, but it is the old billiard spot. So that's
Okay.
what it is. It used to be the billiard spot. Now he's trying to change it over to this La Maraca Pizzeria, but it is 100% the old billiard spot.
He's 100% right. It's the location, but it's the owner.
I know I'm 100% right.
The
This
owner
is,
of the location.
so this is
No, I'm
this
saying
has
he's
been a problem in the
100%
past.
right. The reason I say he's 100% right because the area here has been in trouble. I'm acknowledge of that.
No,
I'm
no,
sir,
100%. Hold on a second. Just a point of order, sir. I'm not to cut you off. It's not the area that's a problem. The area is my problem. We are the NYPD. We're the 4-1 precinct. Your business, that address has been the problem. I have been in your address. I was there when there were 55 to 60 people, which you were over capacity in the middle of a pandemic, and you were shut down, and you were having an illegal party with alcohol, no liquor license. So, and that's when we did 2 separate SLA reports.
Right, we got Officer Sokoto with a hand raised here.
Mr. Captain wants to say something, okay? He's on.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Chairman.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Hi. Yeah, I apologize for jumping on a little bit late here. I think I just caught a glimpse of you guys earlier. Yeah, I would have spoke previously about this location, and I just had the opportunity to kind of catch up in regards. This location, we have tremendous amount of issues at this location. Shooting that emanated directly from this location, operating as an illegal after hours. That shooting actually occurred across the double yellow line in the confines of the 4-0, but clearly emanated from this billiard spot. It was consistently an after hours location that I did actually visit myself with Sergeant Guglielmo. What they would do is they would go so far as to shut the gate in front of us when we came to see him and refuse to open it. So probably actually the worst location that we've dealt with in my time here in the 4-1. Now I am hearing, I understand, sir, that you're saying you are a new owner. But we have other units within the police department that are looking at this location, and they are telling me that you are actually associated with the owner of the billiards location. That is something that we have quite a bit of concern about, and we surely would surely want to look into.
All right, I mean, I understand what you're trying to say, but again, like I said, I'm a new owner here. Regarding to the previous person that wasn't here, I have a new lease and everything. I mean, I don't really, not so much to say it. I know this location and being a problem for the community, but I'm doing something different at the location.
But I think, Mr. Javier, what we're all trying to say is that that particular location has been a headache to the community. Regardless of what you want to do, the fact of that there's a stigma on that particular location, and all eyes on there. The captain is telling you that there is intelligence reports showing that you are related to the person that was running the location when we were having these problems. And so that being the case, you know, it's I think it's gonna be very hard to try and convince people if that is so, because if he's saying it and he's saying it in public, it's because it's so. If there's anything I know about the captain is that he will not say something in public if he ain't got something to back it up with.
I understand exactly what you're saying, sir. Again, I repeat myself again. I mean, I understand you have a really concern with the location, but
think you guys could give me the benefit of the doubt, to try to see what I'm doing with the location.
So just add that,
Mr. Chairman,
we actually have 2 open SLA cases currently at your location.
And that's probably why they're selling it.
Yeah. And so you're getting quite a bit of follow-up from the police department. I can tell you that. So I don't know exactly, how you've been running that location so far, but a police department unit other than the 4-1 currently shows 2 open SLA cases, and they will be following up with you. So definitely quite a bit of concern on our end. Sorry for interrupting.
From my understanding, they came and served some papers in here regarding whole name. We gave it to that attorney, and we did what I could provide that documentation. And the city of New York, the state of New York, city of New York, came to an agreement that I has to file all SLA rules and apply for paperwork for license before I sell any liquor in this premises. We take care of that because this used to be the pool hall in the past, and they had the concern with that. I really settled with the city of New York to follow up with all the guidelines to apply for a liquor license.
And so in the meantime, you've been selling liquor.
Excuse me?
In the meantime, it seems like you may be selling liquor.
No, listen, I could show you the inside doing the construction.
No, I appreciate the tour, my friend. I'm just telling you what I'm being told. So I hope
I'm not even open for business.
But this is a police department unit that's telling me that. Tremendous amount of
I understand. I'm not going to argument because you say you got intelligence on it, and you said that you have this report on it. But I just want to make sure that you see if it's been done with this name, with La Maraca. Because I know the report that you guys submitted, it was like Angel Villar.
But
Mr. Chairman,
the fact still remains, and I'm sorry, Reverend, but the fact still remains that there is still 2 outstanding SLA violations on that location.
I don't have any violations for my understanding.
You don't, but the Tres Estrellas does. La Tres Estrellas does, and based on that,
Bobby, that's an error. That's not part of this one. The Tres Estrellas 5587.
Okay,
So
but the fact of that the place itself, the captain is saying the place itself has 2 SLA violations for selling. Yes, sir.
Please, I would like us to vote on this item. Based upon
so
the
it has to
report.
make a motion. Either you or Barbara have to make a motion.
Yes.
And the other second it.
Yes. Based upon the information we received from the police precinct, I want to move a motion that we should deny this application.
I think you guys treated me not fair. I think you should review. You should review, and then you could get more intelligence from the police department.
Do I have
any? You could put my application for
review. I'm sorry. There's a motion on the.
Mr. Javier, you gotta wait for me. Barbara, do you agree with Reverend John? Barbara, you there?
I'm right here.
Do you agree with Reverend John?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
All in favor.
So
all
it's,
in favor.
So it's both of you, and it's. I don't think Evelyn is on.
That's it. If you made the motion, she seconded. That's the vote, basically.
That's the vote there.
That's the vote right there. So it good. Since you did make a motion, it goes to the full board. So we got to vote on this on the full board to deny. So, I'm sorry.
Mr. Javier.
Mr. Javier.
Right.
Up on the full board. I don't know if there'll be an ample opportunity for you to speak, but that's
but I think you guys gave me the chance at least to review it, and even the.
Well, you can come to the full board, sir, because the committee just voted on it. So we got to move on now. I'll have Cynthia follow up with you to provide the information. It is a public meeting, but we got to move on now.
Please,
so
can we have the next item on the agenda?
Review application for Patrona Mexicana Cantina, located at 5587 Boulevard. They're applying for a full license. They have recorded music. This establishment has a full menu. And this is where La Espiga Triestella. They are currently at 5587 Boulevard, and they have an active license till September. So,
Ralph, can you see if there's any violations on there?
I can go back. Yeah, give me a minute.
And again, this is between Longwood, Avenue St. John's and 149, right?
Correct, Mr. Chair. Yes.
Yeah. We've had too many liquor licenses in that particular block. Too many. Way too many. I counted off 5 that I can think of.
And it's a very
Could we
high.
just hear if from Sergeant Goog, is there anything going on? And Maggie has her hand raised also.
Okay. Sergeant Goog?
Yeah, no, we haven't had any issues that I've been made aware of at the location.
Let me ask you a question. In that particular area, has there been issues of concerns?
Yeah, unfortunately, that is a cluster, like the chairman said before, that's a cluster of restaurants and bars in the area. But you also have to realize something, like everything has to be taken at like a handicap, because everything's been closed for the last year. So I can't really, gauge like what's going, like businesses are just now starting to open up. But in the past, we've had a high volume of activity in that area, just fights emanating from the bars and different locations.
Thank you, Sergeant Goog. Maggie?
No, that was to the prior, but it's already gone.
Okay.
Mine.
So is there anybody here from 5587 Boulevard?
Yes, I'm here.
Who's me?
Mi nombre es Amilza Orellana. Soy la dueña de Patrona Mexican Cantina.
¿Usted es la presidenta de la cooperación?
No, Rafael Gonochea. Él y yo trabajamos juntos.
Okay, pues este es el problema, and I'm sorry that I'm speaking in Spanish for everyone. I will try to translate as I go along. What I'm going to tell her in Spanish is that since she is not the principal owner, she cannot represent the organization, the corporation, because if there is an agreement to give a license, it'll probably have stipulations. And since she is not the principal, she cannot commit to any of the issues that if there is any issues that we may want to put upon the license. So
before you say, so on the actual SLA, her name says printed principal name. So her name is on the paperwork.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe you just need to explain that to her too. So then this may be wrong if she can't make any.
That is wrong, because it's supposed to be the corporate officer.
But this says president. It says president on it.
Right,
It says her name, but it says president.
Right. It says president. She just clearly stated that she's not the president of the organization of the corporation.
Why not ask her why it happened to the president today and just kind of.
¿Por qué el señor no se representó hoy?
Lo que pasa que la persona con la que nosotros hablamos para la licencia, él no nos dijo que yo no podía aplicarlo. So, si yo hubiera dicho a él que él era el que lo tenía que hacer, él con mucho gusto hubiera asistido. Pero el hecho de que los dos trabajamos juntos y los dos estamos en el list del negocio, se creía que yo también podía, pero siendo así el caso, tendría que ser él el que esté aplicando ahora.
El nombre del presidente que firmó la aplicación.
La corporación fue Rafael.
Right. So, entonces, él es que tiene que hacer la presentación a nosotros, porque sin él no se puede hacer nada.
Okay, perfecto, entiendo.
And just tell them that they have to fix up their SLA form because it still has her name on it.
Y en la aplicación usted firmó como usted era la presidenta de la cooperación.
Sí.
So, hay un problema con la aplicación.
Hasta ahora no tenemos ningún problema y en las cuentas del banco, por ejemplo, soy yo la que está como presidente. Por eso él dijo que lo hiciera yo.
Pero usted lo acaba de decir a nosotros que él es la persona de la cabeza de todo esto, ¿no?
Sí, la corporación, él fue el que firmó la corporación.
Okay. I think considering that she's on the documents and that everything is on paper saying her as president, we could give that an opportunity. I don't know what y'all think, but she is on the...
Okay, en el list que usted firmó.
Sí.
On the list that she signed, usted está presentada como qué?
Como la dueña del local.
Pero no la presidenta de la cooperación que está rentando. Okay, that settles that. The lease says something different from what she is. It says something different from what she's saying. She's saying that in the bank papers, she's saying that she is the president, but on the lease, she's not the president. The other individual is the president.
Right.
And on this here, on this application, she signed as the president, but she's telling us she's not the president. Does everybody understand?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, it just matters at the committee level. So Reverend John and Barbara, I'm sure, understand clearly what's going on here. So they need to decide what they want to do, if they want to table this or until they present the gentleman that she described as the president. It's up to you guys what you want to do.
Reverend John, the only thing I could suggest to you is that you table it and let them come next month before the board. But
With a corrected form.
With a corrected form, and with the paperwork showing who is the leasee of the property, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, we will need the actual application from the state liquor authority with the correct names on it. That's what we will need if we're gonna move forward.
So in the meantime, we need to let the liquor authority know that they have issues to resolve with the community board.
Well, right, Reverend John, there's a current liquor license here. So
Okay.
it's supposed to be a transfer. So they need to reapply and have the correct name of the title of whoever's going to be the president of this. So
Ralph, is that a full license that they got?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me just double check that.
Yeah, it's a full license.
Yeah, they have an active license there. So
an active full license.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do we have any? Does the sergeant have any information on the establishment?
Yeah, he said that there was nothing going on there. Guglielmo.
So, lo que yo le voy a explicar es que lo vamos a dejar hacer la decisión hasta el mes que viene.
¿Está bien?
Pero, usted tiene que mandarnos nosotros la correspondencia correcta diciendo quién es el presidente. La aplicación se tiene que firmar otra vez. Si el señor es el presidente, él tiene que firmarlo. El lease, como lo enseña a él como presidente de la cooperación, él tiene que firmar la licencia, la aplicación para la licencia.
Está bien.
Y nos tienen que traer a nosotros una copia o mandarnos nosotros una copia del lease y la aplicación y la aplicación original o copia.
Ok, perfecto.
Okay.
Sí,
Mr.
muy bien.
Chairman,
Yes,
Mr. Chairman, does the sergeant have any information on this establishment?
He stated that there was none, that he had no no information from previously on this particular location.
So
Yeah, they have a beer
this-
and wine license. They don't have a full license there. They have a beer and wine.
So they definitely have to fix up their application, because it says, well, I guess their transfer was looking to get a full license.
okay.
So, Pastor John, what do
Yes.
you table this? You and Barbara, you gotta. Well, you don't need a
Yes.
vote. You're going to table it.
Yes, we're going to table it. But
Okay.
please, I would like you to let her know that the license that they currently have right now is beer and wine.
Correct. And it's under the old
if they are seeking a full license, then they have to be ready to justify the reason why they believe that they can handle a full
And I
license.
also want to acknowledge that they did not submit the questionnaire back. So if they would have, we would have some of these answers.
Señora. Hello?
Estoy acá, dígame.
Ok. Hay unas cuantas otras situaciones que han sucedido. La licencia que está en la propiedad ahora mismo
Sí.
es una licencia de cerveza y vino, nada más.
Sí, correcto.
Ok. Y no puede vender ninguna otra clase de licor.
Sí, correcto.
Ok. Y hay ciertas páginas de la aplicación que nosotros le mandamos a usted que nunca nunca llegó.
No, sí, correcto. Eso estaba supuesto a terminarlo hoy y pedirle si me daba un chance de mandarlo en la mañana, pero basado a
Ya que tiene un mes, nos manda a nosotros la aplicación entera con todas las páginas, contesta todas las preguntas
Correcto.
y el list explicando quién es el presidente de la cooperación, y encima de eso tiene que explicarle a nosotros por qué usted quiere una licencia para vender licor, no cerveza y vino nada más, pero licor también.
Sí, está bien, correcto.
Okay.
Sí, correcto.
All right, she understands. You want to move on?
Thank you. Yes, let's move on, please.
All right. Item number 5, review a renewal application to the BX Invest LLC trade name Boogie Down Grand Cafe, located at 868 Hunts Point Avenue. The establishment will have a menu that meets the legal minimum food. They're applying for wine, beer, and cider. They will have a DJ, recorded music, karaoke, and live music. And they also participate in the New York City Open Restaurant Program. And they submitted their questionnaire.
And the open application permit.
Ralph, you got all the paperwork?
They submitted their questionnaire to us. So I don't know, this is a renewal.
Okay.
And we sent them the questionnaire and they submitted it back to us. So I think we should start with hearing maybe from the precinct if there's been any issues within the past 2 years here.
Sergeant Gould?
Yeah, I'm on. Can you hear me, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no, we haven't had there's been no criminality. The only thing that we've had a few 301 complaints about a DJ booth on the sidewalk and speakers and loud music. One recently, as of maybe 2 weeks ago. They've been operating on and off because I guess the pandemic, they haven't really been open full time. But no real major, issues with criminality, but definitely they don't have a permit for noise. I went back and I checked. They don't have a sound permit for the location. So that's the only thing we can really find.
Okay.
I do know that the owners are on also.
Yeah. I would assume it's Majara.
Good evening.
Good evening, Majara. How are you?
Fabulous. Thank you. And yourself?
Hanging in there, trying to stay out of trouble. So as to the 311 complaints that the sergeant has stated to us, do you have any knowledge of this?
No.
You didn't. Is there loud music being played in front of the location?
No.
No? That's a little strange because Sergeant, did you observe this?
Yeah, I observed it, 2 separate occasions myself, and then I went back and I had gone through the 3-in-1 system to see what other complaints that I had had from the area. But I personally observed the DJ booth with speakers. The 2 times that I visited the location, I had not spoken to Miss Carter. She wasn't at the location, but there was definitely a DJ booth outside of the location.
Majara, you want to respond to that?
Oh, I'm here with James Chase, my business partner.
Hi.
Yeah.
We may have been playing some music outdoors.
Okay.
Good night.
If you recall, okay, but if you
We've not been
recall,
contacted by the police or anybody. There's been no complaint brought to our attention.
okay, but if you recall, when we gave you your license, there were stipulations of no loud music to go, that it would be any loud music that would affect the quality of life in the community. Do you recall that?
Recall we did have a discussion about music. Things changed obviously in 2020 a little bit, and we're trying to prevent people from congregating inside for COVID reasons.
Okay, I understand that. I can understand that, but the fact of that it was still, what I'm basically saying is nobody was made aware that you were doing this until the police department told us that there were 311 complaints. Now, 311 complaints don't come from the precinct. They go from residents of the community that are making the complaints. And so what I'm basically saying is that is a quality of life issue on this particular concern.
We would appreciate if the 311 complaints had been brought to our attention. We would have addressed them immediately.
I'm sure that the city would have done that. The city usually sends.
Mr. Chairman, just a point of order. I'm sorry not to interrupt you, but so my officers did respond. One of the 311 complaints was on March 11th at 10:03 p.m. and the complaint clearly states the address 868 Hunts Point Avenue. It says very loud music, DJ booth outside on the sidewalk with speakers. We actually dispatched officers to the location, and I guess the 2 officers spoke to the DJ, and at that point he ceased playing the music. You know, we don't like to listen. We're not in the business to hurt other businesses. We're not there to hammer people. So the DJ was very nice from what I gathered from the officers. They turned down the music, but they were told that evening that they can't have a DJ outside with speakers and playing music. So no summonses were issued, but officers definitely responded.
Thank you for that input, Sergeant. That sounds consistent with the way our staff would have reacted to any news that we
Yeah,
were.
no, we've never had any issues with any kind of, it was an issue that we did have to respond to because the community did complain. There's a lot of residential apartment buildings in that surrounding area. So, but like we said, we don't like to come out there and just right away just start writing summonses and writing tickets. We like to, give everybody a chance, but it was definitely something that has come to our attention that there was music on the sidewalk with a DJ booth and speakers. So,
Mr. Chair, we have 2 questions. I have V Visconti, board member, and Sokola, I guess the captain, also wants something to say.
You go. Go ahead, Captain.
Go ahead, V.
Well, let me go first.
I just had a quick question. Why isn't the music being played indoors versus playing outside and, causing an issue to the residents nearby?
There's a pandemic, and the safer, more responsible thing to do is keep people outside. They still want to enjoy music in a social setting, and obviously end the music at a reasonable hour. But that's the reason why we would be playing outside is to discourage people from congregating inside.
Yeah, but I don't think you could be playing music outside like that with a DJ and speakers. That's not permitted unless you get a permit from the precinct.
We'll check with the restaurant. As far as we know.
I got a question when you're finished.
But the captain had a question, I think, or a statement.
Or if I could.
We got the captain first.
Hi, good evening. Just to briefly mention, I did have the opportunity to meet with Majoran and James recently. We spoke quite a bit in regards to some similar topics, and I would say that they were quite receptive, and really, I'm confident that they are looking to work with us and would be very responsive if we had any issue with how they were playing the music at that location. I would just say that.
Thank you, Captain.
We got Monique.
Okay, yeah, my question was, Captain pretty much answered it, are they making provisions to get this sound permit? And how does the provisions change once they obtain the sound permit?
The sound permit will go over like they have to go to the precinct. So I will let maybe Sokola is the one who actually will know what are the parameters. But the only place to get a sound permit will have to come from the precinct.
And Monique, the sound permit is usually only for one day. It's not an ongoing every week type of thing. They have to submit every day if they wanted to put it outside every day, because the sound permit is only for one day only, if I'm not mistaken, Sokola.
Yeah, I think Sokola can clarify.
Hi, yes. So, due to the whole COVID, we're not issuing sound permit until we get thumbs up for these kind of events. And because it's an everyday event, I won't be able to give a sound permit to a business.
Okay. Thank you.
So if they're like a special one-day event, then yes, definitely I will give them a permit. But to have a permit every day outside, I won't be able to.
Officer Sokola, can you just go over more of the parameters? Is there a time? Is there the decibels? Is there anything like that we can just go over for the record?
Like every sound permit, yes, there is. I believe it has to be below 25, and it cannot be played after 8 o'clock. The sound permit is only good up to 8 o'clock at night. From 1 to 8, that's it. Nothing before that.
Well, after that.
Or after that.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Reverend John.
Okay. I just want to remind Ms. Carter that there was a major concern about the quality of life from her business when this issue first came before the committee. And she and Mr. James did promise that they will never, I could remember, they did make some very serious commitments to promote the quality of life, because that was a concern that there are too many apartments, too many residents there. And they gave us their 100% commitment. So I have to say that I'm very much disappointed, because it's not that they do not know. Mr. James was saying that they were not aware. And now we understand that the police precinct even responded. They came to the premises. So it's quite difficult to accept the fact that they were not aware of what is going on at that premises. Having said that, we want them to succeed in business. But I want to make a motion for us to consider this renewal, but we are going to deny them the DJ. Please, can we see again the music section of it?
We have some questions here. V has a question, Reverend John, and Larry Robinson has a question. V first, I guess. He was first.
You guys answered my question. It was regarding the permit and the times.
All right, cool. So then Larry has a question, Reverend John.
Larry?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned. It seems like you guys are leaning towards negativity towards James and Majar. I think that from the time that she got the liquor license from her, approval, I think that we should look at the amount of incidents she had against her. We talk about 1 day incident where she actually wasn't on the premises. The GJ might have got a little carried away. When the police approached them, Sergeant G and them, he stopped immediately. They shut down. They're very considerate, no problems at all. So a 1 day incident, we got people playing music all day, doing what they want to do on the streets and everything, and they're getting away with murder. We finally find somebody that's good for the community. And like you said, COVID affected a lot of things that came from the inside, outside, because congestion spreads the COVID virus, as we know. And I think they're doing the right thing. I don't think she should get penalized for one incident. One incident. I don't think it works that way. That's my personal opinion.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Yes, Barbara.
Okay, I'm a fair believer of giving people a second chance, considering that the police officer did not summons them and did not do anything about it. I feel that, they talked to them and they were very reasonable. They were able to understand. So Majora and all of them have been in our community. They know what we do. They know how we are. And I mean, they're helping the community. So I believe that we should give them a second chance. Just my opinion.
All right.
We have Maggie. Maggie also had a hand raised. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Maggie.
Well, I agree with Barbara and Larry. It's only one isolated incident, and they don't have anything negative against them, so I don't see the problem.
Well, I understand the whole situation about COVID, but the fact still remains that there was an issue, a stipulation that stated that you couldn't play loud enough music. And I understand where Larry's coming from and where you're coming from, Maggie and Barbara. I do have a major concern that, and I need to ask a question here. And did you reach out to any elected officials on this license?
No.
You didn't reach out to the borough president's office?
Regarding our license, we are dealing with the State Liquor Authority, and now we're dealing with Community Board 2.
So you didn't reach out to the borough president's office stating to the fact that Community Board 2 tonight was going to give you a hard time?
We reached out to they know we're here, of course.
No, not that you're there, Majara. We're not saying that. I'm saying that did you reach out to the borough president's office of concern about that Community Board 2 would be giving you guys a hard time tonight on this application?
I let them know we were going to be here. I'm not sure what they surmised.
Okay. All right. All right. I mean, if there was a concern, you guys know how to reach me. You could have sent me an email and I could have discussed this with you and tell you what was, there was no concerns. The only thing that bothers me is that it appears that that we're going to bow down to elected officials, and I've never bowed down to an elected official. I've listened to them. I've listened to them and stated of their concerns, but I just feel a little disturbed at the fact of that this was mentioned at the borough president's office. They do not run Board 2. They've always said each board runs independent from them. And it would have been nicer if you would have reached out to Ralph, myself, to Cynthia. You guys know how to reach out to us. And we would have discussed, we definitely would have discussed this. You know, I don't see no reason for reaching out to the BP's office. But it was done. You're saying that it was nothing major. I'll take your word for it. But I'm just saying it was just a thing that it was a little disturbing on my part on that issue. The music playing, you know, Sergeant Luke had told us already everything he had stated here. All right. I didn't foresee any problems with it. I thought that you guys handled it as well as you could. The only thing is that the stipulation stated no loud music that would disturb the quality of life of people out, you know, within the community. People came out to hear the music, and I honestly feel that that could have caused, in these days of the pandemic, a concern, a health concern. If not everybody had on a mask, if not everybody's temperature was taken, if not everybody was vaccinated, you know, those were concerns. And during that time, there was no vaccination, or there was a vaccination, but the president didn't. That president at that time did not make it available. But still, the fact still remains that we, you know, we should have been reached out to and spoken to on that side, on both sides, actually. So, Mr. Chairman, whatever you wish to do.
We have two more. We have Larry and Monique. I know they already spoke, both of them, but it's up to the chair if he wants to entertain that.
Let's hear from Monique.
Hi guys, so I just want to say this really fast, and everybody on this call knows how fair I am. I'm not a side taker. I'm about what's right and what's wrong. Crespo, you made a mention to that there may have been a call to the borough president. So being in attendance at the last time this woman came up to this board or to the full meeting, it was crazy. Like the attacks were crazy. What I heard was crazy, and I was sitting in the back with my baby. Okay, quiet as a mouse. And I saw these things. So I just think that for her, if there was a call made, that concern was valid because she didn't know, or they didn't know what they would be walking into. And I have to say that I am proud of the board for the way you guys are displaying us right now, because that really mattered. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, Monique, thank you so much for that. So
Can I just respond very quickly to Monique?
Yes.
Monique, and as you well recall, I apologized that night. The following, at the full board meeting, I apologized to Majara. I apologized to everybody for what happened on the night of the committee. And I think that it's a two-way street. That if I apologized and I apologized to everybody, then the benefit of the doubt should have been given that, you know, they apologized, they want to leave it water under the tree, under the bridge, you know, then let's continue that way and let's start working that way. The way I felt today was not something that was comfortable. After, you know, I went all out to apologize, and I had mentioned that I, you know, that it was wrong, and that I wanted to start a new discussion, a new way of dealing with issues. So it's not fair. It went past my head again.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We
Mr.
have
Larry,
also
you have something
Reverend
to say?
John. I'm sorry, Larry keeps raising his hand, so I don't know
Yeah.
if you can entertain Larry.
Yes. Mr. Larry, what do you want to say? Mr. Larry?
It's a liquor license for 2 years when we give them out.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. We got 365 days timed by 2, 7 something, like 730 days.
730 days.
We have a 1-day incident, and I mean, we gonna.
Mr. Larry,
Yes.
don't beg the question. Don't keep going there. Please. This committee is doing its job. We address every issue as it comes before the committee. You have to allow us to do our job. Don't pressure. Please. I respect you, but do not interfere with what this committee is doing. At the end of the day, it is this committee that is responsible to the community board and to the community residents. We have nothing. I personally have nothing against Ms. Carter. None of us in the committee have anything against her. When this issue came 2 years ago, we raised the issue of the quality of life, and we were encouraging them to take into consideration the residents, because there are too many people living around there. So if there have been an incident, we have a right to talk with them. We are not pressuring them. We are having a discussion with them. We love the business. We appreciate what they are doing in the community. So do not think that any of us is prejudiced. You are trying to make it difficult for me to even vote on this issue.
Well,
if I vote no, it's
Mr.
an
John,
issue.
that's
If
your
I vote
opinion.
yes, it's an issue.
That's your opinion. I mean, you're welcome to your opinion, but I have my opinion too.
Okay, I have to interfere here, and Pastor John is the chair of the committee, and he can make, Larry, with all due respect, you do have a right to say what you want to say. You're repeating what you had stated before, that it was a one-day incident. I respect that. And again, Sergeant Guglielmo had stated to us everything. What was the actions taken? What was the actions taken by Ms. Carter and James? And also, the captain had explained to me the actions that he had taken as it pertains to meeting with them and discussing issues. We don't need to continue repeating what happened. We all know what happened. It was supposedly, they're saying only one day. Sergeant Guglielmo says several complaints to 311. So I'm just letting it be. I just want you to know that Pastor John has the right. He has the floor. He recognized you, and he's asking you not to repeat what was already stated, because we're just rehashing and just stirring up issues that don't need to be stirred up. Okay, Larry? Hello?
Reverend John, Larry has his hand up again. I don't know if he wants to talk, but I think we should just move on now. It's you and Barbara to decide what you want to do here.
Mr. Larry, you still have something you want to share with us?
Larry has his hand raised again, so I don't know.
Something on my machine. I said no.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Larry.
Larry, I hope you understand that I'm not knocking you for what you stated.
Okay.
I understand, but Reverend John is the chair of the committee. He doesn't want to rehash.
Bobby, if I disagreed, I would tell you.
I know that. I know that.
So let's move on then. Reverend John, what are you looking to do here, sir?
Yes, please, can we take a look at the stipulation that has to do with music once again, please?
So we have their old stipulation is on file with the State Liquor Authority, and we clearly made the stipulations about the volume of music that would be played at inside, but that was inside. It had nothing to do with outside. And that's on file with the State Liquor Authority.
I'm going to request that we make an amendment to the stipulation, if it is okay with Barbara.
Amendment
about outdoor music.
Okay.
If there
Can you
is,
explain that to me?
if there is another incident of outdoor music without permit, it will automatically means that their license will not be renewed next time.
So, as per
There's a stipulation.
I just want a point of clarity. As Officer Sokola stated, they'll have to go and request a permit from the precinct but the precinct only gives the permit the hours between 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. So I think if you're going to make that amendment, I think we should make James and Majora should at least acknowledge that if you're going to make an amendment to that stipulation with the music.
Are they on board with us on that?
They're still here. I don't know if they can hear us. They're on mute themselves, so I don't know. There they go. Okay.
Could you repeat your suggestion?
What Ralph is saying, Majora,
Reverend John said was he wants to make an amendment to the stipulation regarding music. So as a point of clarity, I just want to state what Officer Sokola stated, that in order to get the permit for the outdoor music, it has to go, you have to request it from the precinct. And she stated the hours are only between 1 p.m. and 8 p.m.
So,
So I
yes,
just want to make sure you guys acknowledge that so that you know that that's what it is there. So going forward, any outdoor music, you have to get the permit and go through the precinct. Actually, the precinct will actually set the parameters, not the community board, regarding the sound permit.
You can't have like a radio outside, not a DJ, but you can't have
Hold
like
on,
a
Monique. Hold on, Monique. We have the committee right now meeting, so they're making an amendment to the stipulation. So bear with us here. I just wanted to acknowledge who exactly what the amendment was, and then if you want to speak, ask Reverend John because they're in discussion. So that's between him and Barbara. Don't apologize, Monique. You're good money, Monique. Don't worry.
So, Barbara, please, with that amendment, can you move a motion for us to approve the renewal of the license?
I am meant to approve the renewal of the license, Pastor John, because can I explain why? Considering the fact that the precinct did not summons them for anything. And I mean, if that was so bad, I feel like the precinct should have summoned them. They didn't do it. So I believe that we should just give them that chance.
Of course, that's what we're doing. That's why
Yes.
we're moving the motion
Exactly.
to approve the renewal with the stipulation that if they are going to have any outdoor events, they should get a permit.
I agree with that. I agree with that, Pastor John. I mean, Majora is a very intelligent person. She knows the rules, and I mean, it happened once. Okay, she know in the future that we're not gonna allow that. So I agree.
Thank you. Just before we move on, I want to say we would not have had this issue if at the beginning they had come forward and tell us, yes, the police did stop by. It was not a major incident. But for us to say that they were not aware of the fact that the police had precinct had stopped by, that is what threw me off, because that's being dishonest with this committee. And not only that, for us to be informed today that they had gone to the borough president's office to talk about this meeting, to me, it doesn't speak so well of the work that we have been doing. We have no special interest in closing down any business. Our job in this committee is to make sure that we give everybody that comes before this committee a fair share, and that we are not looking at people's faces. We are not picking side. And it's wrong for somebody to think that by coming before this committee that he or she will be maltreated. And I just don't feel good with that kind of picture that somebody is painting of this committee and the work we do. This is not the first time.
You know what happened, Pastor John? Excuse me, right now. Speak on majority.
Let me say this.
Let me say something, please.
Let me say
Can
this.
I say something?
This is the second time that people have gone to the borough president's office to report about my participation in this community board. And we do not want a situation whereby instead of people coming to us, working with us, they will go make complaints about
Right.
about either the community board or individuals in the board. Having said that, Barbara, you can say what you want to say, and then let's vote on this item.
Okay, I think some of the already feelings for the way she is and for some of the things that happened in the past. But that was something that happened in our meetings and stuff. But not every committee is the same, you know? We are here to give everyone a fair chance, and I understand where Pastor John is coming from, that we deserve the benefit of the doubt too. So you should come to us and at least discuss what's going instead of taking it so far. That's it.
If I may address Reverend John's point, we were not saying we were not made aware of a 311 complaint, and probably because the DJ and the police officers who responded took care of it without any summons. Nobody felt the need to, kick it up to us because it was a non-incident. It was a couple of people talking on the street and coming to a human-to-human understanding. When we said we weren't aware, we were not aware of 311 complaints, and that is the truth. So I just wanted to make that point.
Okay.
Thank you, James. Thank you for that. So, Reverend John and Barbara, what are you doing?
I move the motion to approve the application.
I second that motion to approve the application.
Great. So now, Cynthia, you have anything you want to say? I don't know. So we're good here. So then, James.
No, we got everything from them. They sent us everything.
They sent us everything, correct. So James and Majora, the full board meeting is on the 28th of this month at 6 p.m. And you'll get a link for that meeting, and then the full board will vote on it at then.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's move on to any old business. Is there any old business? Anything from the precinct? Any new? We have some announcements, but any new business? We have some announcements then. Reverend John, can we proceed with the announcements?
Correct. Yes.
We have a street co-naming. Actually, I think it's a street co-naming and a park co-naming that the committee and the board approved last year for Al Quinones at 52 Park, which is, I think is on Kelly and St. John's is where the corner that is going to be named. That's coming up in May. So we just want to make everyone aware because the board did participate in getting that street co-naming changed.
And he was a former board member as well.
He was a former board member, and he revitalized 52 Park to where it is now, where they have the amphitheater and they have live music in the park during the summer. Unfortunately, they couldn't have any last summer. And Al Quinones, I think, passed 2 years ago. So this was approved by the board and went into the city council and approved at the council. So once we have the exact date, we'll send everyone information regarding that. Next up, we have on Monday coming up, we just want to announce that we have the 41st Precinct Auxiliary Unit has their 5th annual autism walk. It starts at 11 a.m. It's at the precinct. Everyone is welcome to come and walk and show support and participate. I know that the board had donated, the chairman of the board had made a donation that was requested. And as per Larry, we are donating some kits that we have left over, some school supply kits to it also, or a large amount. We'll just narrow down the numbers, close to 100, if anything. We received a flyer regarding Juneteenth, which is, I think, June 19th. There's a festival citywide that's going on.
This year's going to be virtual, and then they'll just, because of the pandemic, but then from then on, they'll start planning it accordingly.
Correct.
I got something else to say too, Al.
Hold on. We just want to also acknowledge that there's now vaccinations available at the point. I don't know if it was the Johnson & Johnson, which has been put on hold.
It is.
So
It is.
this might be put on hold unless they get different vaccinations, but appointment is required. So I would suggest if people are interested, they can call and then follow up if they are going to be available at the point moving forward. Casita Maria is having some free SAT prep coming up Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. There's a registration link. We encourage everyone, in particular the youth, to sign up for that. The Latin American Impact Award. So this is a grant that's actually going out, if I'm not mistaken. And there's some information provided here. We have a link and a phone number for people to call. Recognizing community leaders, volunteers, and philanthropists, business owners, and employees. So we would love to see. I think our community has at least one of these in the categories. We would love to see people apply for this or make recommendations if possible. One of our local assembly members is having vaccination appointments also. We need to follow up just to see which vaccination it is, because if it is the Johnson & Johnson, it's going to be put on hold. But there is, you can reach out directly to the assembly member's office, and there's you can contact Jasmine Guzman over there also. There's a HPD property that's happening actually tomorrow for property management regarding housing maintenance and safety requirements. More on the line for property owners, management companies, but it's open to the public, so any tenant can actually sign up if they're looking to sign up. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the announcements that we have. I think Barbara wants to say something regarding announcements, and Maggie wants to say something regarding announcements. Barbara?
Yes, I just want to tell y'all this Sunday, my soccer league is dedicated to Luis Sepulveda, and I would like to invite everyone, if they want to come out and support him at that event. Is at Ferry Point Park. It's
What event is this?
Sunday.
Okay, if you can reach out to them, because I don't think they send, we do a good job of blasting flyers, especially of events, if they send them to us. So if you can just follow up and have them send us the flyer, we can blast that out. I have one more event here. We have a 7 Boulevard cleanup on April 17th at 8 a.m. And this is regarding the bid. If volunteers want to come out, and the reason why it's so early in the morning is because the businesses are still closed, and they might want to do some graffiti removal on the fences of the businesses. So we can follow up directly with the bid. And for any of these events, if anybody needs any information, just call or email the office and we can provide that information.
Just make sure your information is in the chat, because after the meeting, I always send out the agenda with all of these flyers. So if you want the information, just make sure your email's in the chat.
Right, we got Maggie with her hand raised. Maggie?
Mine is not an announcement. It's about that vaccine flyer. I have shared it with people, and when they go to the point or to 854 Hunts Point, no one is there.
You have to go. I don't know if you can do.
They're not doing walk-ins. You have to pre-register, Maggie.
No, but it does say, it says it on the flyer. It does say it on the flyer, but there's a number there that you have to call, and it's not the points number. It's like I think like a 888 number or something.
It's not on the flyer, but you can always
Not on the flyer.
You can always call 311 to register, and they'll take your information and they'll base it on your address, and they'll give you a preference of locations that are providing the vaccinations.
So this flyer is what? Like, this is not to register?
No,
This was like one of the first flyers. You know what? Give me a few, and I'm going to see if they have an updated one, and then I'll just send it along with these.
All right, thank you.
That was one of the first flyers that were received, but I know there was a couple of them going around. So I'll check with the point and see if they have a more recent one with the name of the shot that they're getting, as well as the number that they send.
Okay, thank you.
Pastor John, that's all for the announcements, and there's no other hands raised.
Yes, I should have raised this issue during new business, but kind of skipped my mind at that time. I know that this is outside the scope of this committee, but I just wanted to draw our attention to all these businesses, wine and liquor stores that are popping up all over the place. And what I've noticed is that people congregate around those stores. They buy, they drink. Much of the problem we're having with use of alcohol in the community is not actually through the restaurants and other business that we are able to work with. It's coming from these wine and liquor stores that get their licenses straight from the state. So I don't know how the community board can work on this issue, or if we need to find some other people that can pick it up as a campaign to address it at the state level, because it is becoming an issue. The businesses are just popping up everywhere, and people can go in there, buy, drink as much as they want, and we need to do something about it.
Reverend John, I just want to say that one I've been fighting with the SLA is the fact of what they call the package stores, which are the liquor stores. They say that they don't need to come before the board. I tell them that they're wrong, that they should be coming before the board because they are part of the problem in the community, because people are buying in their stores and then they're drinking it out in the streets. But also the grocery stores. The grocery stores have become more of a bar than a grocery store. Maggie has brought a location to my attention. I have sent the information forward to the police precinct. I hate to say that I have never gotten a report back on it. And they should be checking not just that location, but every grocery store that's within the 4-1 precinct, because it's happening in every store that I have walked into. On Longwood Avenue and Fox, there's a store there. They do it there. They drink outside.
Yeah.
The deli farm on Longwood and Prospect, they're doing it there. The grocery store on 156th Street and Fox, they're doing it there. I mean, I'm not saying that the 4-1 is not doing their jobs. They are doing a fantastic job in keeping our community safe. But at the same time, we should be pointing the finger at the right agency. And it's not so much the 4-1 precinct. It's not so much NYPD. It should be the State Liquor Authority that should be sending investigators out to these locations and summoning them, because that's another industry that doesn't have to come before the board, and I have a problem with all of this. I have a problem with them. The liquor stores don't have to come before the board. Grocery stores don't have to come before the board. And yet all of these places are selling liquor and people are drinking it in front of their place or on the side or wherever. The grocery stores are becoming more bars than grocery stores. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the community. I definitely don't want to point the finger to the 4-1, because the 4-1 has been doing a fantastic job in trying to do as much as they can with the limited number of officers that they have.
We agree with you 100%. As a local business owner who is highly regulated by the SLA, and we do everything we possibly can to maintain a safe and supportive and healthy environment for our community, and certainly for the patrons and anybody who walks by our cafe. Yet, we absolutely see exactly what you do, and if there's any way we can help you in your efforts, we will. As a fully established and supportive business and a lifelong resident of this community, I would be happy to help.
Thank you, Majora. Because honestly, it's a job that belongs to all of us. All of us that go to the grocery stores, all of us that see what's going on in front of the liquor stores. Sometimes our young daughters can't walk by these stores. Our young daughters cannot walk by the liquor stores, and you got people all over the place, and they're scared. And they're scared. And I'm sorry that I'm getting on my bully pulpit, I guess you want to call it, or my milk box, whatever. But the truth is the truth. And Reverend John, you are totally correct. And Ralph knows I've been asking for a meeting with the chair of SLA, but I think now that we do have new assembly members that are responding to the community, like Septimo, like Ms. Jackson, like Burgos. We need to, I want to probably set up a meeting with all of them. As some of you may know, I've asked Assemblywoman Jackson to put me on her advisory group, and that's one of the issues I want to talk about, because it doesn't only affect Community Board 2, it affects all the community boards, unless you live up in Riverdale or in City Island or in other parts that are very nice and clean. It's not affecting them, but it's affecting us. And when people walk by our community or drive by our community, they should not be seeing all the negativity that we, the people that have been here for so many years, fighting and fighting and fighting to change the quality of life of this community.
I just want to say I'm very proud to be a part of Community Board 2 tonight.
Thank you, Monique.
Just tonight, Monique.
Mr. Chairman, it's Sergeant Guglielmo. Just to piggyback, I wasn't aware of some of these locations, but Cynthia Baez has my business card. Everyone, I mean, I know most of you. You guys should all have my cell phone number on. She's going to post my business card on the chat. But please, I mean, I know the chairman had mentioned. Thank you, by the way, for the kind words. You know, the Captain Schuberlin and I take great pride in this neighborhood, and we do everything we can. And I answer my phone 24/7. I mean, most of you know that even on my days off, I literally am answering my phone, even on Sundays and Mondays. But if any of you do become aware of any situation where, you know, they are drinking and outside in front of the locations, or that is definitely something that we will address. And I think most of you, you know, District Manager Acevedo and I have a great relationship. I mean, anytime that he's called me, I literally get back within the hour, and we definitely address some of these locations. And you know, we shouldn't have to deal with this in the community. And I take these complaints very seriously, as does Captain Schuberlin. So please, if you don't feel comfortable speaking online in a format like this, so most of you know, you can always call me anytime. Day or night, and I usually do get back to you within that day. So definitely let me know if anyone sees anything egregious going on. I definitely will, you know, my cops and I will go out there and address the situation. So.
Thank you. You were doing pretty good until you said you talk with Acevedo on a regular basis.
Well, I'll send his
Chairman,
contact
you too. It's not like you don't have my cell phone number.
Thank you.
It's not like you don't have my cell phone number, Bobby. Come on.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. What were you saying, Cynthia?
That I'll send his card along with the agenda and the announcements.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Crespo, so do we?
Man, I must have done something wrong when he's calling me Mr. Crespo. Now I know.
Do we now do we take it that you will set up a meeting with the elected officials so that we can raise?
Yes, I will be reaching out to them, and I will, you know, ask them to give us a date. And as you know, I did it the last time when we had the full board meeting. I asked them both if we can meet with them to discuss issues of the community. They both Burgos and Jackson said yes. Ms. Septimo has told me yes. And so I would hope that I can do it all at one time, but that's going to be a little hard because everybody has a different schedule. But I will try my best to do it as well as I can to bring everybody together. And naturally, Reverend John, you will be part of that meeting.
Thank you. Okay. So back to the district manager.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Are we done with the agenda?
Yeah, we're done with the agenda. Everything's done. You and Barbara need to make a motion to adjourn this meeting now, and we're good.
Okay. Thank you very
I
much.
motion to adjourn the meeting, and God bless everyone.
Thank
The
you.
same to
Seconded.
you. The same to you. The same to all of you.
God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you all for your participation.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Ralph, let me grab the chat. Don't delete. Yeah.
Everyone, thank you.
Good night.